The warrior Achilles is one of the greatest heroes of Greek mythology. According to legend, Achilles was an extraordinarily strong, courageous, and loyal, but he had one vulnerability: his Achilles heel. Homer's epic poem, that Iliad, tells the story of his adventures during the last years of Trojan War. Like most mythological heroes, Achilles had a very complicated family. His father was Peleus, the mortal king of the Myrmidons, a people who, according to legend, were extraordinarily fearless and skilled soldiers. His mother was Thetis, a Nereid. According to myths and stories composed long after Iliad, Thetis was extraordinarily concerned about her son, his mortality. She did everything she could to make him immortal. She burned him over a fire every night, then dressed his wounds with ointment, and she dunked him into the river Styx, whose waters were said to confer the invulnerability of the gods. However, she gripped him so tightly by the foot as she dipped him into the river, so tightly that the water never touched his heel. As a result, Achilles was invulnerable everywhere but there. So he had vulnerability in his heels. When he was 9 years old, a seer predicted that Achilles would die heroically in battle against the Trojans. When she heard about this, Thetis disguised him as a girl and sent him to live on the Aegean island of Skyros. To be a great warrior was Achilles' fate, however, and he soon left Skyros and joined the Greek army. According to legends, the Trojan War began when the god King Zeus decided to reduce Earth's mortal population, and he did it by arranging a war between the Greeks and the Trojans. He did this by meddling in their political and emotional affairs. At Achilles' parents' wedding banquet, Zeus invited the prince of Troy, a young man named Paris, to judge a beauty contest between the goddess Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Each of the goddesses offered Paris a bride in exchange for his vote. Aphrodite was the most alluring. She promised to give the young prince the most beautiful wife in the world. Unfortunately, the wife in question, Helen, the daughter of Zeus, was already married to someone else, Menelaus, the king of Sparta. At Aphrodite's urging, Paris went to Sparta, won Helen's heart, and took her back to Troy. Now you know what happens next. When we touch women, when we steal someone's wife, it means it's bloody war. Menelaus vowed revenge. He assembled an army of Greece's greatest warriors, including Achilles and his Myrmidons, and set off to conquer Troy and get his wife back. In Homer's telling, this war lasted for 10 years. 10 years of bloody war. Achilles is best known for his links to Troy and the Trojan War. The epic poem, the Iliad, which features Achilles as its primary protagonist, primarily addresses the Trojan War. For centuries, the conflict has remained one of those intense fascination across cultures, and images of Trojan horse and heroes like Achilles still resonate in popular culture even today. Achilles' role in the conflict began early in the tale. After Paris brings Helen of Sparta to Troy, the Greek forces rally to return her to Menelaus, her husband. Thetis knows that Achilles, now an adolescent, is a great fighter, and she does not want him to be drifted into the war for the fear that he might die. To protect him, she disguises her son as a woman and hides him on the island of Skyros. While there, he has a son with Deidamio, the daughter of a king. His son is called Neoptolemus, and he also goes on to fight in the Trojan War. Unfortunately, the Greeks find Achilles on Skyros and persuaded him to join the Trojan army. He agrees and quickly becomes the most powerful general in the Greek army. The war lasted for 10 years. Achilles fights for most of it, destroying towns around Troy and making a name for himself as a warrior. Homer's Iliad is primarily set in the 10th and final year of the war. Homer does not describe the end of the Trojan War in the Iliad, but other sources explain who killed Achilles. After he kills Hector, Achilles continues to fight, but he knows that he will soon die. He longs to be reunited with the Patroclus, and he knows that his death will be glorious. So he battles the Trojan for as long as he can. Unfortunately, it is Paris, Hector's brother, who kills Achilles. He shoots an arrow which the god of Apollo guides to Achilles' vulnerable spot on his heel. The injury kills him, so he does not live to see the war's end. His son Neoptolemus arrives and assists the Greek during the sack of Troy. So, in summary, Achilles is a major figure in Greek mythology, most famous for his role in the Trojan Wars. As a primary protagonist of the Iliad is his biography, the book written on him. His father is Peleus and his mother is Thetis. Shortly after Achilles' birth, the fate reveals a prophecy that he will have to choose between a long but unremembered life or a short but glorious life. Now, being a mother and a woman, Thetis does not want Achilles to die. So she dips him in the river Styx to make him almost entirely invulnerable, except for his heel. The vulnerability of the Achilles heels remain well known in popular culture today and has inspired the common idiom Achilles heels, which means an unsuspected weakness.